Welcome back, everyone. This is T and Kareem reviewing another episode of Married at First Sight, season 14. This is episode 3.
Three. Yeah.
Before we go on, I just wanted to share, if you haven't already liked our channel, we really appreciate the support. We're trying to grow, and so please give us a like, give us a subscribe, comment down below if you agree or disagree with what we're saying, and also check out Kareem's channel.
Yes, please check out my channel, All the Way Live Media, for your nerdy content. But welcome to this Deluxe Life TV, of course, and we're excited to get into episode 3. The show kind of has some pre fireworks displays kind of setting up for us, so let's get into it.
All right, so we finally saw the rest of the couples get married. We saw Noi and Steve. I was about to say Noe. Noi and Steve. Noi rhymes with Moy, her new last name, if she chooses to take it. And we also saw Alyssa and Chris get married. Which couple do you want to start with?
Let's start with Noy and Steve.
All right. Your hot takes. What you got?
So I think I've said it multiple times that these are probably the people that have the most in common and the most similar but not the same personalities. Steve is a free spirit, but Noy is a free spirit kind of in a way with the whole she has a separate personality thing. That's because deep down inside she likes to party. She likes to go with the flow, and that's cool.
And they're both risk takers.
Yeah, definitely.
That's definitely something they have in common.
And so Steve seems like a really down to earth guy, and Noi was really excited to be able to share like her culture with him. They want to make connections with each other. Mm-hmm. So I have some really strong just feelings for seeing people that want to be together on the show, because everybody, even in Noy and Steve's case, they seem to be unsure, but they're moving forward. They're going with it. This is the perfect kind of show for them, I think.
You think so? What makes this the perfect show for them?
Because it's a show where you take what you got and you make something out of it. They both seem like that type of people.
Okay.
That type of person. They seem like those types of people. What's the proper? You're the writer. I'm just.
I don't know what you're trying to say.
They both seem like that type of person individually.
Okay.
Who takes what they got. And
I mean, that's like resourcefulness, but it doesn't really seem to fit what you're saying.
No, I'm not just talking about resourcefulness, but adaptiveness. Like they're adapting to the situation. So that is pretty cool, and I have high hopes for them.
I definitely like them together so far. Mm-hmm. They definitely both seem to be looking forward to like starting out on the right foot. Relief, they're attracted to each other. That's always kind of like the first step. Because, I mean, this is Married at First Sight. This is not somebody that you have chosen for yourself, that you've built a relationship with, that you've built a rapport with. And so all you really have to go on.
And it's not somebody that you chose. Like, you didn't choose this person. Like, they didn't approach you and say, how you doing? My name is Kareem. I would love to, get to know you sometime. And you didn't hit him with the batch of eyelashes at him. You don't play hard to get. It's not somebody that you chose off.
See, he's lucky he's like low-key flirting with me, so I'm not going to zing him for cutting me off. So I was about to say it's not like this is somebody that they chose. Okay. Thank you for stealing my thunder after I let you go first. But that being the case, it's kind of like, your eyes is really all you have to go off of, until you start to learn more about each other. And so that's always, a relief when the guy has a great look in his eyes, like, wow, she's pretty, and she has, a look in her eyes, oh, okay, he's attractive. This is going to work. I like that. So I like that for them. I also like that they both have really strong examples of couples who have made it work. Both of their parents have been in their marriages for many years. And obviously, as all marriages do, go through ups and downs, adversities, and things like that. We've heard a little bit about the adversities that Noy's family has gone through. And so I love that they have that in common too, because they have healthy relationships to model theirs after, hopefully. And the other thing I thought was really cute was that their vows seem to kind of match each other. They seem to be saying the same thing. So I like that they seem to be on the same page.
Me too.
So one thing I did want to mention, I wrote down a couple of things for them, but one thing that I did want to mention about her vows, I thought was so beautiful. Like, I was touched. She said, "If there's a life after this, I promise to meet you there too." And I was just like, that is so
she kicking
beautiful. Game. She was, right? So I just thought that was awesome. And of course, they have their orange-haired brothers in common. And, maybe that's gonna, I don't know what that means. Maybe that means that both of them have some, interesting characters on both sides of their family that they're used to dealing with. But I think the other thing too about Noe and Steve is that, like, when he shared that he was between full-time employment, that she didn't seem like super freaked out about that.
Yeah, she didn't react to that as if, oh no, he doesn't have a job. What are we going to do? We're poor. She instantly recognized that, he's the type of person, which I've kind of been saying since day one. He's probably the type of person that will snap to it when it's time to snap to it.
I do feel like you should have snapped to it before you applied to get married, though.
But he's probably not concerned about that.
Obviously, he's not, because he didn't do it. So
but
he's obviously not concerned about it.
But he has the ability, and he's in a field of work where, it's probably like, if you work in sales, it's probably easier to get. It's easy to get in and out of a sales job. It is, and particularly the degrees of which you're expected to perform. Like, he was a technical. He
says software engineer supporting a sales team.
Yeah, so he probably is I'm pretty sure that's the kind of job that's always looking to hire people, because they're probably always firing people. So it's always an openness.
But that's not a great thing either. That's not really stability. But who knows?
In the sales world, you don't get that, though. You don't get.
Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. I don't know. I'm not trying to speculate on that. What I am saying though is, like, he has shared in, like, the matchmaking special that he felt like coming off the road that the next logical step was to get married. And I was like, how, Sway? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why why that was the jump. And even, she was trying to probe and ask, questions about, like, his trip, and, like, was there a particular goal in mind? Was he trying to figure some things out? And he was like, nope, I was just visiting friends. And, when I got back, I just, I figured that would be the time to figure it out. And then I was like, this came along. And so I did that instead. So he's, like, super duper free spirit, which I hope matches well with her. We obviously saw the coming attractions, that there's some tension, between them coming up. Seems like she ghosted him for a minute. Who knows what prompted that? So, she could be the one that's flaky. I don't know, but hopefully they get it together and it works out. I can say, from what they showed us in the coming attractions for the season, nobody looked hopeful 100%. Walking into decision day.
Yeah, like some of these cases, and we're probably going to get into them a little later, but they really look kind of drastic.
Yeah.
But that's what makes it a good show, and that's what makes it interesting, because if it was just everybody getting along all the time, not too many people would want to watch that. And they have a few ones where they're definitely setting us up for, entertainment.
For real.
Let's
move on from them. Let's talk about Jasmina and Michael. I'm liking them.
Yeah.
So I know I had said, and I do stand by it, but I'm putting an and also too on it. I still stand by the fact that they should have given her somebody who was more emotionally ready to be what she needed. That's what she came on the show for. That's what she asked for. And they was like, nope, he's going to practice on you on national TV. And it does seem like they have some controversy around that as well, as we see in the coming attractions. Nevertheless, at this stage, they do seem to be vibing, and I'm here for it. I was concerned because I didn't know if, they were going to be each other's type, that type of stuff. Because again, attractiveness, what the eye sees, the eye wants. That's always something that is kind of like a first, thing. But it definitely seems like they are feeling each other, that there is, like she said, a little spark. And like now that we're seeing a little more of them, it seems to be a little more of a spark. I'm feeling it.
Yeah, I was never on that tip where the whole he's practicing on her. I don't think I don't think this man would show up for a reality TV show to practice.
Honey, he's never done it before.
He's never done what?
He be vulnerable with anybody before. He's said many times he's never done it before. He hopes he can do it. He don't know how to do it. He's concerned about doing it. So even if he does do it, it's still practice. It is first time.
Well, it's not practice though, because
how he is admittedly many times said that this is something that he's never done and he don't know how to do. And I still stand by.
Many times, but he only had to say it once. He only had to say it once.
He has said it many times.
I think you're putting too much weight on that. I think you are. Don't. Because this is a full-grown adult.
Yep.
And he knows at some point, like he might not know all of what marriage is. He might not know all of what marriage is because he hasn't done it before. He might not know all of what a fully committed romantic relationship is because he hasn't done it before. But he's definitely not going to pretend that, all right, I'm just going to get into this fully committed marriage and boom, I'm not going to be vulnerable to my wife. As a matter of fact, he did say, speaking to her mother and father, that he was ready to be vulnerable.
Yes, right? But he's also said that he's never done it before. He's concerned about his ability to do it. And this is something that's brand new for him and he hopes he can.
Well,
he has said that before too.
I believe he can too. So I'm on his side.
I hope he can. I still said what I said, that, I don't think it was fair for them to match her with somebody that wasn't emotionally mature, especially given the fact that that's what she asked for. Nevertheless, I do like that they seem to be vibing. So I'm excited for them. I'm hopeful. So I'm hoping that they find, more in common. She did seem to be a little concerned when he was talking about his work schedule. Like he's up and getting out at 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. He's not coming home till 7:30 at night. Even on the weekends, he has clients, so his hours are kind of up in the air.
What does he do for a living?
I think he's a personal trainer or something like that. I think he's a personal trainer.
Well, yeah, you gotta go where the money at.
But also, too, 4 o'clock in the morning to 7:30 at night.
People be at the gym 6 in the morning.
That don't mean that you have to be.
That's where the money at.
Well, I mean, it's 2 of y'all now. Like if you want to have a relationship, he says he goes to bed at 9 o'clock at night. So in that hour and a half every day, that's when they gonna build their relationship. Nah, And the look on her face when he said that was just like, wow. And she was like, well, what are your weekends? Like he was like, well, Saturdays, I could have, 4 clients, but the times is all over the place or whatever he was saying. And, she was kind of looking like, well, like, when are we going to be in a relationship? And these are things that, for instance, Shocky Mock, he also kind of works in the health and wellness industry or something like that. And he intentionally changed his schedule prior to getting married so that he would be, doing his work from like, I don't know what time he said, like 5 a.m., something dumb early. Everything is early for me, but something dumb early to a reasonable time in the afternoon so that he would have time for his relationship the rest of the day. And that was a change that he made without prompting, on his own, knowing that he's walking into this. And so I do feel like if Michael wants his relationship to grow strong, you have to put the time in. And in order to put the time in, you have to be there. So, hopefully financially, with the two of them, maybe they can, work some things out so that his hours don't have to be so crazy. But I could definitely see that being a problem.
It's just hard for me to tell somebody not to go where the money resides.
Well, then you have to make a decision. Do you want to be in a relationship or do you want to be where the money resides?
And she's going to have to make that decision too. She's going to
obviously.
She's going to have to decide whether or not she's okay with it.
Obviously. So and it looked like, it was a point of concern. So hopefully that's something that they work out because that's important. But what I did like is that, like, when she was sharing her hobbies, one of the things that he said was he was excited that, even though they don't share the same hobbies, that, there are some things that he can learn, from her or about her hobbies and things like that.
He's already willing to meet her, there. I think that's dope.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing. So, she said that she's looking for someone that will put her first. Hopefully that happens. But the really sweet moment was her meeting his sisters. I just thought that was really nice.
Yeah.
They seem so open and welcoming and like, we have a new sister, type of vibe. They gave her the breast cancer awareness pin to wear on her dress and, kind of welcomed her into the family. And, she seemed to be really open to that too, so that was really nice to see. I'm glad that his sisters wasn't like doing the whole judgy thing, but they seemed to be really open to the whole thing from the very beginning.
Yeah, his sisters is definitely, they down for him. Mm-hmm. And if that's, what he wants to do, then boom, it becomes, his name Mike, mm-hmm. Us and Mike, and mm-hmm. now Mike and his wife.
Yeah, Mike and the girls.
Mike,
his wife and the girls. Yeah, she said.
And I think that's pretty cool because you don't always get that with families, mm-hmm. but on the show the families tend to be pretty much the people that show up. They tend to be like, hey, this is what it is.
Yeah, at least trying to be supportive.
We're gonna hold you down, like this is what you're doing, because at the end of the day, man, this is a wild concept. Like we just met and we married now.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So let's move on. Should we move to Katina and Olajuwon?
Yes.
Let's do it. So one of the main things that stuck out to me is he said when he was talking about her, he was like, I feel like all my sins have been forgiven. I was like, oh, Olajuwon. His nose is wide open. I guess that's a good thing. He's into his wife. That's cool. But he's just like so dramatic to me. I think it's hilarious.
He's very silly, and he comes off, we was talking about it before, he comes off as being more immature, probably the most immature person on the show. But I think he's more mature than he lets on. I hope. Yeah. I'm giving people. I'm looking at full-grown adults. I'm expecting them to at some point behave like adults. So.
Kareem. Oh, Kareem.
But I mean,
why you keep expecting these things?
Because I'd rather be, I'm trying not to be cynical. You know what I'm saying? So
watching this show, I'm super cynical and just like living life.
I've seen some of the worst stuff. Listen, I've seen some of the worst stuff. I've seen all of the worst things in life, but I don't know. I'm just trying not to be super cynical about it, especially when I know on camera the show will kind of trick you, can try to edit a narrative into it.
So. Oh, for sure, 100%.
And they do that a lot, you know.
They do.
Like you see a lot of the awkward stares. Like it ain't no way people just
they don't do it as much on this show.
But it ain't no way people just sitting there just awkwardly staring at each other.
You sure?
Camera cut to them. For 12 seconds straight. Like it ain't no way that people just sitting there in silence like for that long. But they do it. You know what I'm saying? Back to like my man Elijah Wine.
You keep saying my man Elijah Wine. Every time you talk about him, you be like, that's my main man, my man Elijah Wine.
Hakeem Olajuwon was my favorite basketball player before.
The truth comes out. You biased because you have a personal connection to his name.
Yeah, like before AI came into the league, Hakeem was like my guy. You know, everybody loved Jordan, and I love Jordan in the sense. He's
not Hakeem Olajuwon.
But I know. I'm just saying, it's the name thing. It's the name thing. You didn't but yeah. So another thing about their relationship is they're obviously super attracted to each other. Mm-hmm. I'd be surprised if they don't get busy the first night.
I would be very surprised. Well, I can't say very surprised. I wouldn't put it past them if they decide to. I'll be like, that sounds about right. If they don't do it, I wouldn't be like, wow, I'm really surprised that they didn't.
Yeah, there ain't no reason to try to take the higher-minded approach to it.
No, I'm just saying because Katina said that she said she could see herself waiting like a month because she wants it to be a deep-rooted connection, she said.
Yeah.
So, I have no reason to not take her at her word. I mean, obviously, she was already attracted to the man when she said that. You know what I mean? So I have no reason to not take her at her word. If they do, I wouldn't be like, wow. But I mean, if they don't, like she said, we probably not. So, I'm just like, but he really was full on. He loves giving lap dances. And I'm wondering if in his Isaac days, he was like.
He was out there. We know he was out there. He was a party animal. You know what I'm saying? And some people are like that. He has a sports. When my wife comes back to us, you ready?
I'm here. Why did he do that during his wedding reception?
But that's
in front of his bride's mama.
It's probably something he just likes to do. I think it was a bit much. She didn't seem to be put off by it. But
she was. I mean, I think she was not trying to. She was not trying to like shame him. But she was kind of like pushing him back, like, come on, this is a little much.
Well, yeah.
Number one, they just met. Number two, like their family and friends is right here. You know what I mean? Like
it was a lot. I mean, it was a lot. It was a lot. To do at a wedding, like
neither one of us are prudish or judgmental.
I am.
He's lying. Mm-hmm. Neither one of us are prudish or judgmental. That said, though, I think I wouldn't have thought as much of it. Like, I wouldn't have said it was like a lot had they known each other. You know what I mean? Like, these are still complete strangers. Like, they've known each other all of 4 or 5 hours, if that. Because, how long is production really shooting this wedding? Probably 3 hours max. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think they, obviously they don't really know each other. And that's one of the reasons why I'm just kind of like, he's wild for that. Yeah. So other things about Katina and Olajuwon, when he was talking to her mother, and he shared that he has ADHD. His mom was like, "Are you on meds?" And he was like, I have it under control. Obviously, he didn't answer whether or not he was on meds or not. Really, that's not his mama's business. But I was like, not mama, asking, are you on medication? You know what I mean? I was like, wow, okay. But of course, they did the montage like he was talking too much and, all of that. And he probably was. Obviously, they cut it to make it look even more, off the reservation than like it normally would have been. But he was talking too much. But when she said, "Oh, look, over there, a rabbit," and he looked, and then she got up, I was like, wow. Now, part of me is thinking that was editing, because they showed, like, in the montage, like, they did show him, like, look and then turn back and them continue to talk. And so I'm thinking that they cut it to make it look like she was like, a rabbit. He was like, what? Where? She was like,
yeah, they set that joke up. they set the joke up.
I thought it was good. I laughed hard both times I saw it.
I think it's okay, the teasing that is coming out of it, because last week they showed her. They did a like an image montage of her kind of sighing while he was rambling on, which it could have been anything, but they made it to look like she was getting tired of hearing him talk. But he could talk a lot. Some people overshare. Some people overshare, some people ramble, some people are nervous talkers, some people are all combinations of the three, and that
he definitely seems like a nervous talker, for real.
Yeah, and that's it. Yeah, that definitely seems to fit his style. Like, it seems to be who he is and his personality. So, and it's going to be. It's going to make for good TV to edit that kind of stuff in. So, yeah.
So there were two things that came up when she was talking with his groomsmen, one of which is his brother. And one was, she was asking about, like, areas that she should know about or things that she should have patience with. And one of his close friends was saying that you need to exhibit patience and give him time when sharing a new idea with him, because his first response is likely going to be one that just benefits himself, which I think shows a little bit about his personality and honestly a little about his character too. But if they're saying that he needs time, then that might mean that he just has kind of a more immature, maybe selfish first response, but that he does warm up to doing the more mature thing. I hope that's what it means when they're saying, like, to have patience in that area. She seemed to understand or be comfortable, whatever it was, because she was like, okay, he needs patience, I need patience. Yep, patience too. We on the same page. Okay, if she's comfortable with it, you like it, I love it. The other thing is when his brother said that he's going to try to mold you into the type of wife he wants you to be, which, anytime somebody's trying to mold you in anything is a red flag for me, but that's just me. She didn't seem to take it as a red flag, but I did. What you think?
I agree. Nobody should be getting molded, but I appreciate that she didn't fly off the handle. Sometimes you just gotta learn how to deal with people. You know what I mean? Like, and if you know how to deal with people, you're upfront. You're honest with people. They can come around. So if she feels like he's trying to mold her into something she's not, she has the right to say, I don't want to do that, or I don't want to be that
for
way.
Sure.
And he has the same right. And, so if he says he doesn't want to be something that he's not, or do something that he doesn't want to do, or, you know what I'm saying, then, yeah. And then from there, you constantly got to rewrite the rules of engagement sometimes.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? Maybe, like, there are certain basic understandings that should never go away, but life changes. Life is not a static thing. I don't think you should be completely unwilling to, oblige your partner, but you still gotta hold your own too, and y'all determine whether or not that's how that's going to work. I think that's a good thing.
I totally agree with all that. Let's move on to Lindsay and Mark, and then we'll talk about Chris and Alyssa last.
Lindsay and Mark
the Shock.
Yeah.
Sharky Mark.
So last week I think we kind of predicted that, this might be the most and it could still be because they're the most intense people of the whole uh, crew. You know what I'm saying? The whole cast this year. Last week, I kind of predicted that, you know, there might be an issue with the two of them where she might say something that would hurt him. But it seems like they really like each other.
It does seem like they really like each other, but I still think that what we talked about last week still holds true. That she doesn't have a filter, and she may say something the wrong way, like not intending for it to be hurtful, but that it actually is. And like even her family has said, you know, that she can be, you know, they used a different word. I'm not going to use the bad word, but, you know, that she can be challenging sometimes and, you know, stuff like that. So I'm just hoping that they're comfortable enough with each other to, you know, develop a close intimacy where they are considering each other's feelings, you know, and talking with honesty and integrity and, you know, compassion and all of those things that you should be doing in a relationship. I hope that happens. I really liked when Mark was talking to her dad and brother. I thought that was a nice little moment. You know, Mark was like, you know, I don't have a dad, I don't have siblings, you know, and I when he said that he doesn't have brothers and sisters, and her brother piped up and said, well, you do now. You know, that was heartwarming. I really appreciated that he, you know, welcomed him in that way. And so, you know, hopefully that says something about who Lindsay is and the people that she comes from, you know, and so that they are, you know, warm and, you know, inviting people. I hope that's true. And then on the other hand, you know, what we've seen of Mark so far, he seems to just really be trying to go along and get along, you know, go with the flow, you know, type of guy. And, you know, I think that's necessary in this moment. Lindsay is a very big personality, and he is too, you know, but he recognizes that in this moment, you know, both of them can't be on 10, you know. I mean, so he's like trying to play at like the level 7, you know, so that, you know,
he's playing a supporting role.
Yeah, but I think also a supportive role, you know, in that he recognizes that she's nervous, she's extra chatty, you know, that she needs some support, you know, not just, you know, she needs to be in the spotlight, but that she needs some support in this moment. And, you know, hopefully, you know, he added a calming presence for her. I hope that, you know, that's what she got out of it. Because that's what I saw. You know, I don't know if that's what it actually was. Also with them, I got the sense that, well, she said that she was very attracted to him. He said that he was attracted to her. You know, these are good things. These are good starts.
Yeah, they in many ways they seem like the same type of person. Mm-hmm. You know, there is still going to be personality differences, but I appreciate the way that he's just kind of, he's there because he wants to be there, mm-hmm. you know, and he wants to make it work. And he knows that he's going to have to get to know her and how to handle her big personality. And I think he's really making a legit effort to do that. And I appreciate that. And it's good for her that she is attracted to him. Obviously, being attracted to somebody is the first thing. And that's the first thing you see when you're married at first sight. But it's good that she's attracted to him. And it's good that, you know, she also seems to want to be there. And she wants to, you know, she's probably again going to say a lot of the worst things. I get that. I'm with that. But maybe if they can grow to love each other, she'll grow to also, you know, what love is going to be respect too. And with respect comes, you know, at least a sense of self-control. We questioned her self-awareness through the first 2 episodes. Mm-hmm. But
Yeah, I think they both kind of have the same personality faults, maybe, but to her a greater degree because she's so vocal. So, I mean, we'll see where that goes. I don't really have a whole lot to say about them because, like, really, we've been talking about Mark and Lindsay for like 3 episodes now. Like, they were the first to get married. They've been in every episode. So I really don't have a whole lot to say about them at this point.
Okay.
So, you have anything to add that?
Nah.
All right, cool. Let's go on to Chris and Alyssa because we probably have the most to say about them.
Yeah.
They just got married this episode. And whoo, child, I'm definitely seeing that their relationship is going to be more on the explosive side.
So
Also, hold on. I also think they really set them up for failure.
yeah.
There have been times I've said, oh, they set my girl up or they set my boy up. I think they set them up for a failure. And shame on y'all, Married at First Sight and the so-called experts, because y'all know good and daggone well these people do not belong together.
They said it. Like, they pretty much, first of all, what's the name? The Reverend?
Pastor Cal.
Pastor Cal. So when they were pretty much doing the run up into the marriage, into the ceremony, he comes on and says, we set them up because his personality can make her personality better. You remember what they said.
I'll tell you what they said because I wrote it down because I call BS. That's some bull hockey. Listen now. Pastor Cal said Chris will provide the security that she needs to thrive as a wife.
Secure how?
Y'all. What? First of all, you said a whole lot of nothing.
That's some word jitsu.
It
right
really
there.
is because number one, security in what way? That's number one. Number two, because you can say security in that like he's emotionally intelligent, we assume these things about him. Okay. But in order to thrive as a wife, like not in order to grow into the areas that she wants to grow or accomplish the goals that she has in life or literally to thrive as his wife.
That's her life goal.
Right. I was like, say what now? What now? Say what now? What, sir? What? I was not happy. And then he said he lied and said her fun-loving demeanor
she doesn't have a fun
will even out his goal-oriented personality. And I'm like,
she might have put down on the paper that she was fun-loving, but she does not seem like a fun-loving person.
She is not a fun-loving person. I know you lying. Who were they talking about? They was not talking about Alyssa. Maybe they was talking about one of her friends. Maybe they picked the wrong person. They wrote the wrong name down.
They put a questionnaire. It's
something.
Yeah, she probably checked that off on the questionnaire. I mean.
But they've met her. And
she's not like a miserable person, but she's definitely
she kind of is too. You know?
Okay. I mean, I give you that, but she's probably she's definitely not like some person's like sad and depressed, but she doesn't seem like a happy-go-lucky person. Like she doesn't have that, and that's
loving the person who sat in the corner at her bachelorette party, such that folks forgot she was there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fun loving.
That's not. She's not a fun person. Nah.
I mean, she likes to get on these horses. She likes to rescue these animals. And outside of that, she just wants somebody that's tall and tan and got perfect teeth. Tall, tan, and teeth. The 3 T's. And they did not give her that. And she is not feeling funny or loving.
I'm pretty sure that when she said, I just hope when I get out there, I see someone who's tall, and tanned with good teeth. And I'm pretty sure they showed a picture of this man smiling.
They put the camera right here and they lit it up. Right up into his grill.
And my man,
and his teeth
is not good. And I'm not trying to listen, man, like I'm not trying to say anything about this man's teeth.
No, we're not.
It's obvious that he doesn't have good teeth. Can we say that?
He does not have good teeth.
And
for some people, having good teeth is not all that important. You know, my teeth are not the straightest and the whitest. For some people, perfection in the tooth department is not the thing that's on your list. However, when it is, and you don't do that, and you also don't make him look how you want him to look outside of the teeth department too.
I mean, he seems relatively tall compared to her. We're guessing he's about in that 5'10" to 6 foot kind of range.
In that range, yep.
And that's not a short person.
Mm-mm.
It's above average height for a man.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the tan thing. Dude is not tanned. He's not what she's looking for.
And the thing about it is, as many times during the last 2 episodes that she has mentioned, particularly in this episode, what she's looking for in terms of attractiveness. My, oh my, that she was very specific when she had conversations with the experts, and they asked you to be specific. They, according to them, they want to know all of your likes and all of your dislikes and all of, and they said, and we're going to give her nothing but the scruffy beard that she asked for.
Yeah, that was one of the things. But not to play devil's advocate, but it seems like, especially what Pastor Kyle said, it seems like they're expecting personalities to shine through.
But the
personalities don't match up either.
They don't. I'm like, wait.
The personality, but the thing about it is the personalities don't match up. So y'all wasn't paying attention or something, or y'all picked the wrong person, because she definitely does not match the personality. He does. He seems to be a goal-oriented person. His family was talking about that.
And he seems to be a really nice and kind person. He was the only person that gave his bride-to-be a gift and wrote her a note ahead of time.
And she
crying. Was in there. Oh my gosh. Help me. I'm trying not to cry. Help me. Oh my goodness. I need to lay back. Fan my eyes. Please. Fan. Oh, he's so nice. And then literally they come right back up to that. The 1, 2, 3. He's hot. Like he was just like, oh my God, I hope he's cute. You know what I mean? Like why can't he just be kind?
And then, like he's meeting with her girlfriends and he's like, he asks them, do you think she likes me? And I don't know if they lied to him. Like maybe she hadn't confessed her dislike for him.
They lied.
They lied.
They lied. So the one bridesmaid that was wearing the darker dress, the one that did all the talking, I believe that she was the more tactful of the two that were standing there, because the other one kept opening her mouth to say something, and then the one that had the darker dress kept straightening out what was going to be said. And you could see the one with the paler mauve dress would just kind of put her head down. She was doing her tongue in her inside of her cheek, I'm catching the cue. Let me let you handle that. No.
So yeah.
No. He asked her mother, does she like me? The mom was like, I said when we were dancing, I like him a lot. And she said, me too.
But and up to that, the thing about it is so when you're watching it for the first time, up to that point, you thinking she's gotten over the fact that he's not tall and tanned with good teeth and a scruffy beard. He has the beard thing, but not the tall and tanned teeth thing. You thinking that she's
I'm not thinking that, because me too is not an answer. No.
So
when you like somebody.
So I'm being lied to also. That's the thing. Because I'm believing that she's gotten over it. She didn't seem to be, in their conversations, in their engagement, she didn't really seem to be, disliking of him. She might have been uncomfortable in the situation. Like when they were posing for the pictures in the alley and they asked her to put her hand on his chest. And she's like, no, I wouldn't do that. I'm respecting the fact that because it's been explained already that she's not that type of person. It's already been explained to me. So I'm not assuming that she's
100%. If she was attracted to that man, her head would have been in his chest.
But it's already been explained that she's not that type of person.
I think they were saying that so that he wouldn't expect her to do it.
It's already been explained in general. Like this is way before.
By who? When was that explained?
People were saying that she's not overly affectionate
at the wedding.
Yeah, but
that was her girlfriend saying it at the wedding to him.
So this is the photo shoot after the wedding. So I've just said it. I'm falling for it.
And I'm trying to explain to you where you fell.
No, I get it. Like obviously all of the clues, I followed the wrong clues. I got led down the wrong rabbit hole.
You did. Because any female reads the code. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
they're trying to clean it up for him so that he doesn't get discouraged. They're trying to help manage his expectations. Oh, she's not touchy-feely. She's probably not going to want to sleep, in the same room with you. They're trying to manage all of those expectations because they know their girl. Their girl don't want it. Their girl don't want no parts of it. She's not feeling it. She's not liking it. And they're hoping that she will get more into it as time goes, and they don't want to crush homeboy's spirit because he's nice.
I think, I definitely think they're setting both of them up for disaster. Like, they set him up for a heartbreak, and they already pretty 100%. Much they already disappointed her, and she's going to spend however much time that, because I don't know if anybody's ever left the show early, but I'm pretty sure if it was possible to leave the show early,
it is possible.
She'd be on the first thing smoking.
It is possible. I don't know. I haven't been watching like all the episodes, so I don't know who's done it, who hasn't. I have heard though that these two don't make it to decision day.
Well, it's clear. I think we need to take a bet on how many weeks they do last. Because I'm pretty sure it's not going to work out. Like, you already know this relationship over. And the thing about it is, on one hand, you do want to respect the fact that people need to be attracted to the person that they're with. But on the other hand, don't be a jerk about it. You know what I'm saying? And what we're about to get into next is the fact that she's being a jerk about it.
Yeah, so let me back up because I do want to pay Chris some compliments. We've talked about, how like he wasn't physically her type. That's her type, okay? That doesn't mean that he's an unattractive person. So I just want to be clear. I'm not saying Chris is ugly.
Nah.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying he wasn't her type and they knew that. So I do want to go back and pay him some compliments. So first of all, I really liked his suit ensemble. I really like what he wore.
Yeah, I like anything blue.
Yeah, but I mean, it was sharp. Like Steve had on a navy blue suit. I wasn't really feeling it. It had the black lapels. Steve? The tall guy, Stephen Noy.
Yeah, I like that too.
I wasn't feeling it.
I like anything blue.
Chris's suit, sharp. The navy blue, the burgundy, purpley kind of tie. I loved the pocket square that was white with the purple edging on it. Sharp. I thought he looked great. So had that going for him. Of course, he gave the gift and a nice note. We have no idea what that gift is because they didn't let her open it on camera. I thought that was such a weird jump cut. Like, she's crying over how nice he is and, fan me and like all of that. And she goes to open the tissue paper and then her parents are at the door and she jumps up and there's like literally no box anywhere around her. So, it's like, so it didn't happen like that. So I have no idea what he gave her. He talked about in the note, like following your compass. And I was like looking to see, like, did he give her a compass? You know what I mean? I was like, what is it? But we don't know what he gave her. Maybe the interwebs know. I'll Google it because I would like to find out. I also thought he had really nice vows. Hers were trash. Talking about in her vows that she like animals more than she like people. Basically, I'm not going to like you all that much. I'm always going to put my dog first. You're always going to be second. But I will honor you and make you... No, sir. No, ma'am. No. Her vows were trash.
But honestly, she's giving me more... This episode, she's giving me more information about her than she did. Because they were barely in the second episode because they didn't get married. So
but I got a lot from her because that was her dress shopping episode.
Yeah.
And that was when she bought the 10 dresses. 10 dresses on your way to go get a dress. In case you don't like it over there, I'm going to buy these other 10. I could see you having a backup dress. In case you don't find the one you like, but 10? Come on now. And to match them ugly spray painted gold boots. If I could say to the non-existent camera person, zoom in, to match those ugly spray painted gold boots. Ma'am. That wasn't a thing to do. But his vows were very, very nice. And he was talking about being able to build trust and build love together and, and earning her trust. I'm like, yes, these are the things that you say, especially to somebody who doesn't know you, so that they know that you're really in it, for the right reasons, and you're not taking for granted that you were matched, that you actually are going to, at least vowing to do the work to, make the relationship a good one. So I really appreciated that. When he asked, like when they were talking about like what they do and hobbies and stuff like that, and she said that she liked to ride horses, and he's like, oh, do you have horses? She was like, me? No. Are you going to buy me one? I kind of felt like he should have said yes, because then she would have acted right. Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know.
Obviously, I'm not thinking he should buy her a horse, but I'm just like, maybe that would have lightened the mood some, because she was just like,
I'm pretty sure a horse is not like unless you really ready to. I don't know. Maybe he just didn't want to make her a promise that he knew he wasn't.
Well, of course not. I'm just saying. I'm not like literally saying he should have promised to buy her a horse. I'm saying that maybe she wouldn't have ran out on him. Because maybe she's more materialistic. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But he was like, my sister has horses though down in Florida. She was like, oh, that's nice. And she was like, so what do you like? And he was like, disc golf. And she's like, say, what now? And he's like, frisbee golf. It's golf with frisbee. And she
kind of deflated a little bit.
A lot of it. In her confessional, she said, OMFG, disc golf. And she said the actual words, all the words. My mama's watching, so I'm not going to say it. But she said, OMFG.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, though. Like, that's the response to a hobby that's not the same as yours?
It's kind of messed up that instantly, like, because you got to know he's going to be into different things. Like, y'all two different people. Because if y'all was into the same stuff, y'all would meet each other. Y'all would have met each other by now, you know what I'm saying? There's so much about her that's off-putting.
Very much so. Like you said about the picture taking and just all of it. I'm just don't like her.
Yeah, she's definitely being set up to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
They tried to do my man Elijah Wan that way, but I think he's.
You see, he said it again. My man Elijah Wan every time.
That's my guy. But they try to set my man Elijah Wan up. I think he's just being goofy. I really don't see, I don't see any malice in I don't see any malice in anything he said or done. Mm-hmm. I think it's just some immaturity there. Like saying when he was talking about week 1, like if she wants to sleep with me on the first date, I'm judging her. But then
Now
you know,
he's
you see
giving
after
lap
the wedding,
dances and like,
you see
yeah.
after the wedding, he was like, yeah, she offered, I'm going for it. You know, I do kind of feel like he would probably still judge her if she did, because that's just how people are. You know, because I don't know why you would judge somebody for wanting to sleep with you.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
I can't imagine
the person they are married to.
yeah, I can't imagine, you know, somebody being that way. But, you know, I've seen it in real life,
Yeah.
off of TV, you know. But, you know, I digress. Just back on topic. I think him and Katina are going to fall in love.
But the topic is actually Chris and Alyssa.
I thought we was done with them.
We wasn't done with them.
What else we gotta say?
They were our last couple. I was still saying some stuff.
Oh, well, I know I started by saying, you know, she's being set up to be the bad guy, but I don't know. Like I said before, I'm questioning how long she's going to be on the show, because I'm thinking, like you said, you heard the rumor, you told me that before, that they don't make it past the, you know,
they don't make it to decision day. I didn't hear how long.
And then there was clips of, you know, the kind of the closing clips of the show where I had my head turned, but somebody was talking about getting divorced.
I don't know. I mean, they showed like a preview of Decision Day, so maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's what you heard. But other things that I noticed though about them this episode, Chris said he didn't see any red flags in one of his confessionals, and I'm like, how did you not? Like, how did you miss the flags waving?
I missed.
But it was so many. Like, even in terms of him saying, you know, like some of the things that my friends have said is like, where we live, and she's like, I don't care, you know, if he doesn't want to live in whatever place that I want to live, I don't care what he wants. Like, those types of things, that's a red flag. You know, like, I don't know why you saying you don't see one. You know, people are doing the ding, 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 kiss, kiss, kiss. And she was just like, we don't need to succumb to peer pressure. But that wasn't the red flag. The red flag was when they was ding, ding, dinging. You hear somebody's homeboy saying, don't do it. Don't do it. And I was like, who is
I'm
this
pretty sure
person?
somebody, it's pretty sure somebody
knows
on her
her.
side.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody on her side of the family.
Or one of his boys that have seen the signs and was just like, you're setting yourself up.
Even I was cringing at that. And at this point, I was still hopeful. I'm just like, y'all doing this. This not a traditional wedding. Like, these people do not know each other. Like, they literally just met a couple hours ago. Like, don't do it.
But last thing I want to mention about them, and you can finish whatever you were going to say too. Last thing I want to mention about them is when they cut the cake and they showed them with their own individual plates. Like, they didn't feed each other, none of that. I was like, now that is the biggest sign that she don't want no parts of what you got.
But all of this, I'm still chalking up to what's been said. And like I said before,
I mean, you won't take food off a fork that someone else is holding to you. Mm-hmm. You know, like, this is your wedding day. Mm-hmm. You won't take food off a fork. No. I mean, I can see you don't want them to pick it up and put it in your mouth. Okay.
I wouldn't do that now.
But nevertheless, off a fork, and you would take whatever I give you.
No, I wouldn't.
Yes,
I wouldn't feed you from my hands. I wouldn't eat from your hands. I wouldn't do that.
He lying. But I was like, oh, she don't like him at all. I mean, at all. Because, I mean, I was hopeful in like the 25 seconds that, you know, they said their vows and she allowed him to kiss her that one time.
Yeah.
I was hopeful in those 25 seconds, but it went downhill fast. So fast forward, everybody else goes up to their rooms. And he's sitting out in the hall. He's talking to one of the producers. He's thinking they're getting a shot or something. And he says something about this is the longest shot or the oddest shot or something like that, he says. And, you know, she's in the room and you hear her because she's mic'd. So first of all, she chooses the brief conversation had with his friends, to make it seem like he's controlling and condescending, and that's not what they said.
They was just trying to say, he comes off that way.
He can come off that way, and don't read it that way, because that's not his intentions. That's not who he is as a person. And she was like, oh, what now? You said this thing that can be perceived as negative? Let me hold on to that thing, because I have no other things that don't make me to look like the a-hole. So I'm going to carry on and latch on to that thing so that I can, have a reason to dodge out of this.
But I mean, she's in there falling apart.
Really? She was.
She is.
And I'm sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
Her world is shattered. And, she's making it seem like it's about this, but any rational person can see.
But she let it out. So she says that, but then she says, I didn't see in him not one thing that I asked for.
She was like, not one thing.
And when she said it, I was like, there it is. You know what I mean? Like, we knew that.
She reiterated
but now she's saying it.
And leave it up to the producers to be like, well, you're not saying anything to him. He's just out there.
He's out there. He don't know what's going on.
They want the confrontation. They will probably...
But I mean, yes, they probably do. But not just that. Like, he is sitting out there and don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, you got to tell the man something. What, you going to sit out there all night?
So she went out there and she basically led on. I don't think she brought up her level of attractiveness, but
she didn't at all.
She led on to some things that were said that didn't sit right with me. And he's like, well, I'm sorry if I did anything. He's trying to ease her.
And I felt like he was so sweet about it too.
He's probably blindsided by this because he's thinking everything cool. But because he didn't say anything, as far as he knows, she liked him. Mm-hmm. But she said there's some things that are said in the track. She's already told the producers she didn't feel comfortable sleeping in the same room with him. Like, what the heck kind of, ain't nobody that condescending that you don't feel comfortable sleeping in the same room with him. You ain't even seen that.
You ain't seen it.
You ain't even seen it yet.
He hasn't done anything to you.
You don't know what, but she's not willing to give him a chance. Obviously, it's not about whether or not he's condescending, because if she gets to be blunt and say what's on her mind, he gets to be condescending from time to time. Like, don't nobody gotta have. You can't tell this one person that they got to have this perfect personality while you could be a
jerk.
What. You could be a jerk whenever you feel like it. Mm-hmm. Nah, I'm not. That's not okay. So, but yeah. So she's obviously, that's the jump off point, which is meaningless. That's the match that lit the fire of the fact that she wasn't attracted to him. Mm-hmm. And really, if you're not attracted to somebody, that's cool. Don't be a jerk about it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
As direct as everybody, including her, says she went out there and was the most indirect that she could possibly be. Yeah. And I was just like, so you a punk too? Okay.
Yeah. And I think it's because she knows that, it's probably because she knows that it's hurtful. Giving her the benefit of the doubt, playing devil's advocate the way I do sometimes. She probably knows that it's hurtful to say, I'm not attracted to you. There's a tactful way to say these things.
But my thing is, even if you don't want to just be like, I'm not attracted to you, don't leave it like, and this is why I say that she's a punk, don't leave it like him thinking that he did something wrong. That's where she left it. Him feeling like he needs to apologize for something that he doesn't know whether or not he did, right? Saying, is there anything that you need to know from me? Like, did somebody say something that made you question something about me? Do you need to know anything? And she's like, not right now. You know what I mean? Like, you leaving this man, his mind wandering all over the place. And all it is that he wasn't tall enough or tan enough for you. Like his teeth wasn't straight enough for you. And you have him sitting here questioning his whole life at this point. What did I do? What could have been said? And having him thinking it's him, and it's not him. It's you. And I just think that was a punk way to leave it. Having him thinking that he's done something.
Yeah, I mean, she could have just came on and said, that this is things are not the way I expect them. But that's vague.
She could have even said, I'm feeling really nervous about, like we've just met each other. Because even if she's feeling like, I want to give this a chance, but tonight is not that night, she could have said, I'm freaking out. I'm feeling really nervous about this evening. I would like to sleep in separate rooms. That solves your whole issue. Tomorrow's another day. It gives you a chance to figure out what you want to do from here. And those things are true. You didn't tell him no lie. You didn't hurt his feelings. And you didn't leave him feeling like he did something wrong, because he did not. And that's like, I just don't appreciate that misdirect was indirect and left him holding the bag.
But
so, yeah, that's our assessment of Married at First Sight, Season 14, Episode 3. Once again, this is This Deluxe Life TV. Please give us a subscribe. Please give us a thumbs up. And please drop us a comment. Talk back to us. Let us know what you think about all of this. We would love to hear from you. And in the meantime, we will see you next week.
Peace
Bye.
out.